Welcome to Jaymacpodcaster. Stay tuned. Movies, memory, Parkinson's. All right, thanks for tuning in. If you would like to get a hold of me, Jaymac, Jaymac podcaster, gmail.com. Instagram, Jeremy Mac, the number 76. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. I don't ask you to do this very often, but I notice most of my viewers are not subscribed. By subscribing, you get notifications when a new video pops up. So, and then of course it helps with the thumbs up, helps the channel. I don't like doing that too much, but I have to do it once in a while. All right, so today's topic, as you can see, we're sitting in my Blockbuster here, my video store. I got my hat, my name tag. No, I did not work at Blockbuster. It just was one of my slacker dreams to back when I was able to work, to just, well, hell, it's still my dream if there were any video stores left, just to sit in a chair, walk around the store, restock the shelves, rent movies, talk movies. I love movies. And how does this pertain to Parkinson's? Well, I'm going to tell you. All right, for those of you who don't know, dopamine goes missing. The cells that create dopamine, the pleasure receptors, or the pleasure center of our brain, as well as the movement center, is affected very, very severely. So not only can we not move right, we're chronically, generally, clinically depressed. Our brains just can't produce the dopamine to keep our mood up. Now, some things can help, like antidepressants and exercise and things like that, but we're always looking for, at least I'm always looking for, like that little boost. The little boost to get us over the hump, maybe make us just, maybe want to stay up a couple extra hours instead of going to sleep early, because that's kind of what I do when I don't feel good. I just lay around, and that's not good for Parkinson's patients. And I found that, I mean, although I love collecting movies, it's not about, I'm just admiring my collection here. It's not about the things, it's about the memories that they bring back. Now, also, some of you may not know, the uninitiated, Parkinson's can affect memory. I don't notice it much except with short-term memory, and that just may be aging. I don't know, who knows. But what I do know is that as I've gotten older, I realized that maybe it seems I remember a lot more details about my past than other people. I could be wrong, but I remember, maybe it's because I tie my memories to certain events, certain songs, certain movies. But I like, if you go through this collection of movies I got, if you pull a movie out, I can probably tell you where I was when I was watching it and some memory associated with it. Not all of them, but, and I won't bore you with all of them because that would take hours and hours. But I got a few examples here, movies that gave me a dopamine boost at the time, and every time I watch them, it's kind of like a familiar song. You just get that boost. You don't want to, when you first fall in love with it, you watch it, you maybe listen to it a million times, but then you kind of put it on the shelf and just get it out every once in a while just to keep it fresh. So I'm going to go through some of the memorable movies of my life, and feel free to leave your suggestions or your movies that really gave you a boost of dopamine. Now, I've got a lot of movies to choose from, so I had to really be selective here. But the first movie I really fell in love with, I've got the DVD of it, Swiss Family Robinson. This movie, I remember back when VCRs first came out. If you were rich, you had a VCR. If you weren't, you rented them. My parents would rent a VCR every couple weekends, and they would rent movies. And this was the first movie I really fell in love with. I watched it over and over and over again. If we rented it for 3 days, I watched it 3 times. And sometimes I like the battle scene at the end. So this was probably the first movie that really made me go, wow, I love movies. That's the first one. Now also, we watched a lot of classics. We weren't allowed to watch anything made past 1959 when we were growing up, because I guess we had a very strict religious upbringing. So some of these movies, I guess I have a lot older viewers, so you will get this. But some of my younger viewers will be like, wow, you're living in the past. Paleface, Bob Hope movies. Road to Zanzibar. I love these movies. Paleface, yeah. Bob Hope was probably the funniest guy that I knew growing up, the funniest comedian I knew, and then I was introduced to Robin Williams and other things like that. But Bob Hope really made me laugh. Here's one that blew my mind when it came out. I remember being over at a friend's house. I don't think we went back to those people's house ever again, but The Wizard of Oz. It's a special occasion. My dad said we're going to watch a really good movie, and it's kind of scary. I must have been like 7 or 8. I remember this movie, and it made a big impression on me. I've got the Blu-ray. The color is fantastic. It's been restored. Really, really good movie. Now, what I'm trying to do this, folks, is like, I feel like all we do is talk about Parkinson's on this channel, and that's fine, because that's, I guess, what I know the most about. But actually, I don't. I know more about movies than I know about Parkinson's. What's to know about Parkinson's? It sucks. It affects your brain. It affects your movement. Affects your mood. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're digging this, but if you do, like I said, leave comments, because I love getting comments. I love this to be an interactive kind of a thing. Okay. Bogart movies. I love Bogart. The African Queen. I remember my dad rented that. Casablanca. These movies, like I said, they're old movies, but they're great movies, and I still like to get them out occasionally. By the way, sorry, don't mind my finger. I slammed it in the door. I'll try not to show that finger too much. I love Bogart. So those were some of the... Sorry. A little dyskinetic because I just took my medicine and it kicked in, and I'm feeling very animated right now. I'm just going to leave it in for the hell of it. Okay, now... Those are movies that I saw in my house. Now, I have almost a stronger connection to movies I saw in the theater. Theaters, I tell my wife those are two things I miss with having PD is movie theaters and restaurants. And COVID has really done a number on the movie theaters around here. Right everywhere. I mean, most of the theaters I grew up with are no longer there. But yeah, this was the first movie I remember seeing. I probably was 10 to 12. I should look up, let's see the date. 88, so it would have been 12. This is on VHS. I've got the DVD too. The Land Before Time. I'm sure the grandparents out there, or the parents, have seen this movie a million times. Their grandkids. This is one that I was able to introduce to my son, who's now going to turn 13 next month. Wow, I'm getting old. And this was the first movie I remember seeing in the theater, and it blew my mind because I love dinosaurs. And honestly, it's still a good movie. I still like watching now. The T-Rex, the sharp tooth. Freaking love that guy. All right, here's another movie. This movie blew my mind. It's another dinosaur movie. It's a VHS. Let me dust it off here. Jurassic Park. I literally saw this movie in the theater like 13 times. This way I had no girlfriend, nothing else to do, and I would just go to the theater. And it took me away. It took me away from my life, which was... As a teenager, you're very angsty. This was 93, so I would have been 16 around the time. Love this freaking movie. But yeah, it makes me happy. It makes me smile. I love the part where the guy gets ate off the toilet. I love that. By the way, I was just noticing this. I don't know if you can see this. Somebody wrote their name on this. Ernest. I'm assuming it is Ernest P. Worrell from Ernest Goes to Camp. Yeah, somebody wrote their name on this. It's kind of cool. And then what gave birth to my complete obsession with movies, or what really completed it, was Star Wars. I'm using The Empire Strikes Back because it's the best of the three. It's the best of any Star Wars movie. Don't get me started about Star Wars. I just love movies. And all these movies really bring me back to happy times. Like I said, if you pull a movie out of the stack... Oh, there's my... By the way, I have all these movies on DVD, but I'm a collector, so I like to have... I'm actually kind of a hoarder. I just love movies. But like I said, if you have a lack of dopamine in your life, if you're feeling depressed and sort of down, nothing brings it back like a movie. And like I said, I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like I have a lot of more memory, and maybe it's because of movies, but I just, like I said, it's not about the things. It's about what they represent. I mean, nothing boosts my dopamine more than to get a bottle of wine and put on a movie. It could be a crap movie, as long as I'm watching it with my wife or my son or somebody I care about, or by myself, but I like watching it with people. It's a social event. I love it. And, you know, my therapist has said, find things you love and hang with those. And that's what I'm doing. I realize I love movies. As you can see, I've got literally hundreds and hundreds of movies down here, but I love them. It makes me happy, makes me smile. This movie ties back to when I first started dating my wife, somewhere in time. I know Jennifer Sullivan likes this movie too. It brings me back to the time when I was newly in love. It was scary, it was exciting, it was terrifying, it was everything. So once again, leave your comments. Tell me movies that you have good memories associated with. I mean, movies can make you laugh, they can make you cry, they can make you angsty, they can make you feel good. I remember when I watched the end of the original King Kong. Oh my God. I don't know if I cried, but I was upset for the rest of the day. I was rewriting an alternate. I was like, no, when the cameras turned off, the monkey got up. So yeah, like I said, I'm not all about talking about Parkinson's. One of the things I love is movies, and hope you guys too. That's all I got. Peace and love from the suddenly cloudy but storm-free city of St. Louis.